So my mum was really protective of me, and I remember we used to live in Liverpool at a time when it was like really racist. I would have been about 10 years old in primary school, and there was like a lot of like racist incidents. Anthony Walker, you can Google this name, Anthony Walker was like brutally murdered 1 mile away from our house, and that's when like it started getting serious. Our house is getting attacked, my sister's getting attacked, my sister's getting bullied, I'm getting bullied. Like it was a very dark time for our family's life, and I remember that really made my mum like very anxious, and so she was always like, you know, overprotective of me. She didn't want me to go outside. If I did go outside, I feel like she had to be watching over me, and that kind of personality stayed inside of her to be like really protective and motherly. And so I never really got that sense of like adventure and boisterous personality as I was growing up. And the times that my dad did try to develop that into me by taking me to the cricket club or doing certain things with me which was kind of dangerous, like climbing trees, I always was resistant, and my mother was really resistant, and she'd shout over and say no, it's not safe, and I'd end up listening to her because I bonded well with her. And so for all of my teenage years, I was a soft, weak little boy. I was skinny fat, I had a lot of symptoms of low testosterone. I hit puberty very late. Like I literally remember how embarrassing and insecure this used to make me feel. That everyone else in my high school class had developed and gotten like taller and more muscular with like deeper voices and like facial hair, and I literally still looked like a 10-year-old boy when I was like 15 years old. I wanted to be more masculine, I wanted to be taken more seriously, and quite frankly I wanted to start dating and sleeping with girls when I got to like age 17, 18, but I felt like I was behind the game. Back then there was like no guides, no YouTubers talking about like how to be more masculine, because it wasn't really such a talked about thing. So I want to explain masculinity to you in a very like understandable, no BS, practical way that you might have never heard before, because it's such a like a vague topic. A lot of people will talk about it, but they'll never like give you like specific, like, you know, like autistic, like literal things that you can do to be more masculine. And we need to begin by first explaining exactly what masculinity is. So masculinity is like this energy inside of you that is goal striving. It's the part of you that focuses on the mission, the objective. And this is different, even the opposite of the part inside of you that is feminine. The energy of the feminine is all about like joy, love, creation. You have inside of you both masculine and feminine. And so to be more masculine, the easiest, like no BS, like literal practical step that you can take right now is to set goals and achieve them. To set goals and obsess over them. The masculine obsesses over the goal, and when one goal is conquered, he moves on to the next and the next and the next. Think about how the most masculine men live in Adonis's tribe. They have the goal, collect firewood, and so they focus on collecting firewood. What do the feminine women and even some men think about instead? They're not thinking, okay, the goal is collect firewood. They're thinking, oh yeah, you know, the sunset looks really pretty. Let's look at the sunset. Let's dance. The masculine man keeps his mind on the goal, collect firewood. We need it. He collects the firewood. Mission accomplished. Next goal, bring the firewood back to the camp. Next goal, light the fire. Next goal, gather everyone around. Make sure everyone is here. Make sure everyone is warm. Next goal, make sure the meat is getting cooked. Next goal, let's train. Masculine is always focused on goals. So ask yourself this question right now: how goal oriented are you? You might think you're like very goal. I swear I am, Hamza, but be honest. Do you wake up and one of the first things you do is recap your goals? Do you have a place to recap your goals? Do you have your goals written down? Adonis says that one of the best things that you can do as a young man on self-improvement is to write down your goals and to read them every single morning, to rewrite them, to obsess over them. Something magical happens when you put your intention into some big, worthwhile goals. And now the rest of your developments into becoming more masculine can all be fit inside of setting these goals, because this is such an easy way to think about it. Masculinity is all about being goal striving. It's all about the mission. Set goals, obsess over them, and just make sure that your goals make you more into the man that you want to be. So this is where that sort of like conventional, like I didn't want to spend much time on this, you know, that advice of like, oh, lift heavy weights. Number 2, like, spend time with friends. I don't want to give you the basic advice that everyone else is going to give you. Like, oh, number 3, like, work hard. Because as long as you set goals on the things that will develop you into the man that you want to become, then you will become more masculine just by the act of setting goals, and also by the act of making progress into the parts of life that will develop you into the man that you want to be.